Are you new to Whatnot or have been doing Whatnot for a little bit and you have some questions about the platform? Well, today I'm gonna answer all your Whatnot questions. I posted a video about a year ago of me doing my very first Whatnot and it had over 100 Whatnot questions. And so today is part one of me answering your Whatnot questions. Let's get into it. What is going on, beautiful people? My name is Ray and welcome to another fantastic episode of the Nashville Flippers. I am a part-time reseller who likes to sell on eBay and Whatnot. We've been selling on Whatnot for about a year. We have over 4,000 items sold and we have a little bit over 7,000 followers on the platform. One of the highest viewed videos on the channel was me doing a Whatnot for the very first time, and it had over 100 comments asking questions about the platform. So here today is part one of me answering those questions. And guys, there's gonna be many parts of this. So if you have any other Whatnot questions, please put it down in the comments below and I will try to answer those to the best of my abilities. So without further ado, let's get into answering these questions, baby. So question number one, and when you do reselling, this question always gets asked. It doesn't matter, people always ask this question. We post on TikTok, we post on YouTube, and this is probably the number one question that people always ask. And we have two very similar questions, so we're gonna kind of try to lump these in. So David McKinley 5354 says, how much time do you spend on acquiring items, doing the show, and shipping your items? Time is a factor in profit. So here's another question that is very similar to the other one. Have you estimated your time, money amount, sourcing, sales time, packaging, shipping, post office time, etc., and taxes to the man? Still worth it after that? So similar questions, but a little different. That's by Ali's Tube 1969. So shout out to you. So this is a very, again, we get this question asked all the time. So how much time do you spend acquiring the items, doing the show, and shipping the items, okay? So whenever we do a Whatnot show, we sell around 80 to 120 items, and we sell anything between $1,000 to $1,400 every time we do a show, which is amazing. So for the lack of, confusion, we're gonna do this. Let's say we do a full day's work, buying the items, listing the items, and shipping the items, okay? 8 hours a day, just like a normal job, just like a 9 to 5 or whatever. And let's say we sell $1,000 worth, okay? That breaks down to $125 an hour. If you're a doctor or a lawyer, you're making $125 an hour. But if you're just a regular schmo out here working a 9 to 5, you're not making $125 an hour. So is it worth it? I think it's worth it. And guys, I can tell you right now, we aren't spending 8 hours doing all this. In reality, for me, it's completely different because the majority of the items that we pick up are from Amazon liquidation stores, pallets, or whatnot. Be smart, find a way to source your items so it doesn't take a lot of time. So I probably spend an hour in the store, okay? Let's say we spend another hour listing the item. Let's say we spend 2 hours doing the show and another hour shipping. That's 5 hours. That's not 8, but that's 5. So 8 hours divided by 1,000, that's $125. And guys, the rest of the question asks, have you looked into taxes and all that? Guys, if you set up your business properly, all the expenses, they're all tax write-offs. Don't take it from me, I'm not a tax expert, but I'm just saying, everything that you do, your gas, your mileage, your cost of goods, all that is tax deductible. So if you have questions on that, guys, there is some software. There's actually sponsors here on the show. My Reseller Genie. Use the code Nashville Flippers. You get 15% off. That's going to help you with your business, taxes, inventory, your numbers, all that. So check out My Reseller Genie. Use the code Nashville Flippers. You're going to get 15% off your first month. fantastic reselling software. Okay, so next question. Question number 2. NC Don 1 asks, so glad I found your video. I am hooked on buying from Whatnot and considering selling. Most of the shows I attend do $8.35 total shipping no matter how much you buy. I don't understand how they can do that. I've gotten 10 to 15 pound boxes and only $8.35 shipping. I see your spreadsheet. You don't separate shipping on each item. You do separate shipping on each item. Do you still do it like that? We'll definitely go and find the Whatnot and watch your shows. Thank you so much, NC Don. So, your question, most of the time when people do that is that they'll put it in like a number 7 box and then they basically cram it in, because when you go and take it to the post office, I think it's one price. I'm not 100% sure, but anything that goes over that amount, they're having to pay shipping on, and it's just a way to, I don't know. I don't like to do it that way because I think they're losing money in the long run. I don't like doing it that way because I think they're losing money. I could be completely wrong, but I like to charge shipping on each and every item. And then the good thing about Whatnot, when you buy multiple items in the show, what they do is they bundle it. So let's say you purchase one thing and it's like $8.35, and then you purchase another thing and it's, you know, $8.35 shipping, and you purchase another thing and the shipping is free, is because you already have one thing that you can put multiple things in one box, and the shipping is going to be the same amount because of the weight. And some people, you know, they manipulate the weights on some of the items. They put less shipping, less weight on an item that may be a pound, maybe they put half a pound. It's manipulating the system. A lot of people do it on Whatnot, so just be aware of that. Next question. Benton Potts 5967 says, hey, I love that you did this video. Still curious on shipping. Once you place the shipping label on the package, do you just drop it off in the drop box at the post office, or do you go inside and pay for shipping with the money that you receive from the sellers? I would assume shipping is paid with the label on it. And also, is there a way to save on shipping if the item can fit in a standard envelope? Thinking about selling sports cards. So there's 2 different questions there. The first one is yes, once the buyer pays for the shipping. Once the buyer buys the item, the shipping is paid for. So when you go and print off your label, the label's already there. Just print it off, slap it on a box, slap it on an envelope or what have you. They do what, and then you can just go and drop it off wherever. The post office, mini ship, or wherever you like to drop all your packages. Now for sports cards, Pokemon cards, trading cards, TCG cards in general, they do have a standard envelope rate. I believe it's 65 cents. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. So, and it's up to 3 cards per envelope. I do that. You just put in the weight. I do that, and you put it in a normal white envelope and get it shipped out. The label looks a little different. I think it's 85 cents now that I'm thinking about it, just the cost of a stamp. But yeah, sports cards, standard envelope pricing is different from packaging pricing. So next question. Anime Galore 88 asks, do you have to itemize everything in your store that you're wanting to sell live, or says Cam, I just sell the live auction on the fly? You can do both. I like to itemize the items. I'll take pictures of the item and then I'll post it on the show. And then when the show is running, I know which item is selling, and it helps you when you do your shipping because you know exactly what the item what the item was. Let me rephrase that again. When you do your shipping, you know exactly the item that's sold and you can put it in the package. Now, if you want to do it on the fly, there is a way to do that, but you have to remember the weights. So Whatnot likes to categorizes on Whatnot. When you upload something to sell, you have to put it under a certain weight category so they know how much to charge for shipping. So when I like to do things on the fly, let's say I'm selling 100 DVDs. Each DVD is going to be weighing the same. So I'll do DVD quantity of 99, and then I'll put whatever it weighs, 4 to 7 ounces. And then you just hold up the DVD, it sells, the first one sells, then you write a number 1 on a piece of tape or a post-it notes or whatever, and you slap it on there, and then you run the next one, then you run the next one, then you run the next one. So when you go to do your shipping, it's gonna say DVD number 1, DVD number 2, DVD number 3. You do technically have to post it, but you're only doing it one time, and that's kind of on the fly. If you want to just pick out things during the show, you still have to put it in there. So I don't know if that answered your question completely, but if you have any other questions or questions on that, please put it down in the comments. Next question. Dustin Smith X4R says, can I set up my labels to default 4x6 before I go live my first time? Can't seem to find the option in the selling center, thanks. Dustin, so it has nothing to do with Whatnot, the 4x6 default option. It has to do with your printer printing options. So when you go and print, all you have to do is change the settings to, I'm sure it's defaulted by like 8.5 by 11, which is a standard sheet of paper. Just change it to 4x6 and cut your labels. I would recommend that you buy a thermal label printer. As you can see, we have a Rollo here in the back. Amazing. It's a sticker, you just slap it on, defaults 4x6 stickers, and it's thermal, so it doesn't use any ink. I'm in the process of possibly getting a sponsorship with the thermal label company, so I can give you guys a code, and you guys can get a discount on thermal labels. So the 4x6 setting, it's in your printer setting. It has nothing to do with Whatnot, so when you go and you print your labels, it has to do in your printer settings. So, next question. Pose King says, hey buddy, and thank you for the video. I own a comic book shop and we are beginning to sell next week. I was wondering if Whatnot collects sales tax and pays the state, or is it the seller's responsibility? Thanks in advance. Whatnot does collect the sales tax on the item. So that's part of the fee structure that Whatnot does too. So when an item sells, let's say it sells for $9.99 here in Tennessee, it's gonna be $10.49, I believe, with tax, which is the sales tax added on top. So Whatnot does collect that sales tax and it gets paid, all right? So the way that, and then go back and watch the video and I explain how the Whatnot structure fees work out. But when they do the 2.9% commission, it goes from the total amount of the item, including sales tax. I know Whatnot does their 7% commission fee, I believe. I can't remember what it is anymore. That's just on what the item sold for, not including the sales tax or the shipping. So if the item sells for $10, it does a commission fee for $10, and then there's an extra 30 cents plus 2.9% fee. That's what the item sold for, the sales tax, and the shipping. So all those three things combined, that's what the 2.9% fee comes out of. So Whatnot does, to answer your question, Whatnot does collect the sales tax. Next question. I'm brand new to Whatnot. Is it a good platform to sell custom embroidery hoodies? I think Whatnot is a great platform to sell anything. I've seen people sell drawings. I've seen people sell plants. I've seen people sell just homemade stuff all around. Embroidered hoodies, I think that's awesome, especially if there's like a niche. Let's say you sell Pokemon embroidered hoodies. Just start selling it in the Pokemon TCG section. People will see it and they're gonna want your hoodie. Trust me, I would love a Pokemon embroidered hoodie. So if you make one of those, please put it down in the comments. I would want one myself. So yeah, do it. Do your thing. Come on. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Next question. As a seller, or AQN1976 says, as a seller, will I have to set a reserve price for each item I list because of obviously I don't want to lose money if the bid comes in lower than the market price for the item. And on the flip side, pun intended or no pun intended, can I get great value below market price because there are such few bidders to contend with? Okay, I don't necessarily understand the last part of that question, but the first part, if you're selling, let's say, an iPhone, this is an iPhone 13. iPhone 13 right now, market value is probably, let's say, $500. If you want that phone to sell for $500, I would highly recommend that you start it for $500. All of our auctions that we run, we sell consumer electronics here on Whatnot. All of the auctions that we run, we start at $8. So if it sells for $8, we're comfortable with that. We're making a small profit, and it's paying for the cost of goods. So we're making a really small profit, but we are making a profit, and we're comfortable with that. Most of the time, the items do not sell for $8, but if it does sell for $8, we know that we're still making a profit. There's been plenty of times where we will run an item and it doesn't sell at all, and that's completely okay. What we'll do is it'll sit, and then we'll list it on the next show, and you'd be surprised how on the next show somebody will buy it. And then sometimes I've seen this happen to where we'll have an item that we list for $8, we'll drop it down to like $5, people start bidding on it, and it sells for like $12. I don't know the thought process behind that. I'm sure it's psychoanalytical and all that mess, but if you want to sell something, post it or start the auction at the number that you're comfortable selling it for, okay? Post it on the number that you're comfortable selling it for, all right? Now your second question, can I get great value below market price because there are such few bidders to contend with? I think you're trying to buy stuff on Whatnot. You just gotta look. If you wanna get stuff below market value, you just have to dig. There's been plenty of times you can get great deals on Whatnot. Whatnot is a place you can get fantastic deals because people scour the earth looking for amazing deals. Trust me, people find crazy stuff at the bins, garage sales, antique stores, estate sales, Goodwills, everything. So there you have it. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. This is part one of me answering your Whatnot questions. If you have any more Whatnot questions, please put it down in the comments below. I would be happy to answer those. Again, guys, we've been selling for 1.5 years. We've been doing super well. We sell consumer electronics. And guys, if you ever want to come to our shows, I'll put a link down below. Free $15 just for you. And if you ever want to sell on the platform, there'll be another link right there. You do have to get approved on the Whatnot platform to sell. Click that link and it's automatically approved. So if you click those links, we do get a little bit of kickback. So if you do that, we greatly appreciate it. Guys, if you have any more Whatnot questions, please put it down in the comments below. And we will see you on episode number 2. See y'all and God bless. Peace.